All right. Well, welcome to another episode of Cross Talk. This evening, we are just going to have a little bit of fun and just do a question and answer type episode. I'm so glad to have my panel with me again this evening. Of course, to my left is my beautiful wife, Rebecca. Can you say hi?
Hey guys.
And then to my right is Miss Savanna.
Hey.
We're so glad to always have Savanna with us. And then next to her is the grand old faithful Miss Lexi. So yeah, again, we're just going to be doing just some question and answers and just kind of getting responses out of the panel to this evening. So Lexi, why don't you kick us off?
Okay, so some of these are very pointed for Pastor and Becca,
Okay.
and some of these are not. But I put together 20 questions
Okay.
just because, we all know that June is a little crazy for us. So I
Yes.
have a fun episode.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
first question, favorite worship song right now?
Okay, favorite worship song right now. I think my favorite worship song is Gratitude. And so it's a kind of a newer song. I guess it's been out about a year or so. And it's one that I am learning with my worship team. And so anyway, I think that's my so I'll throw up my hands and praise you again and again.
When
All that I have is a hallelujah.
what is his name? When Creston was here,
Yes,
he sang that.
he did. So, oh, you finally, you know now? Okay.
Maybe. Now maybe I'm thinking of I'm thinking of Hard Fought Hallelujah. No.
That's Brandon Lake. That's
That
Brandon
was
Lake.
Brandon Lake.
Uh,
Yeah, just look at Google, YouTube or whatever, Gratitude, and you'll fall in love with it. Yeah.
See, my favorite one is I Trust in God. And I stole it from Savannah and started singing it because they're like, Sister Becky, you can sing this. I said, no, I can't, Savannah. Girl,
That's
Savannah's
Savannah's song.
got it. They're like, well, Savannah don't go to this church, so you need to sing it.
Exactly.
She just visits and she won't leave her church and come here, so you're just going to have to sing it.
Mine is Let the Alabaster Break by Lizzie Morgan.
Okay.
I just recently let me make sure that's her name. I know her last name is Morgan, but I recently just found her and she is an amazing worship singer. Is that one? Oh, and actually We Want Revival, the live extended version, which is 20 minutes long. But
You can
that
go to
is
church
such
on
a
that.
good one. Yes.
How about you, Lexi?
So I get hooked on songs and I'll play it until I'm really tired of it. So the one that I've been playing since we went to Fervent has been a good plan
Oh, my
by
goodness.
Anthony Evans.
Kathy's looking that up for us to learn it.
Yes, it's so good.
So
It is so
I
good.
wish I knew
It's a hype song.
like the playlist of what they played because some of those songs I didn't know fully, but I cannot remember a lot of them.
Most of them are his, so just look up Tony Evans and you're going to be able to find them all.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. Awesome list. Yes.
Question number 2. Favorite vacation spot?
Well,
what's a vacation?
so far, what's a vacation? I can say staycation. So far, my favorite vacation spot has been Alaska. But here in about how many days?
19 days.
19 days, we'll be setting sail and be going to
Costa Maya,
Costa Maya.
Rattan, and Cozumel.
Yes. And Belize? Is it?
No,
No?
just
No.
Cozumel.
Okay. I don't know where we're going.
He said he
So,
was
I'm
the
just
boat.
getting off the boat.
He said he's along for the ride.
Yes. Yes.
Once again, what's a vacation? Okay, I don't get out a lot and vacation a lot, so I typically do staycations. But if I had my way, it would be my own private island
Okay.
with the little cabana things. Like if y'all have seen
Jamaica,
yeah. So if y'all seen Twilight, you know how Edward and
where
Bella
he
have
takes them their honeymoon.
yes,
I want to go there, but I don't remember where it's at.
yes.
When they had that door that opened to
right
their
up to
room.
the ocean.
Right up to-
Yeah,
Oh, baby, let's do this.
that would be a vacation for
Yes.
this man, Daddy.
Yes.
No kids.
That's what I want so bad, and then, like, I don't have to worry about cooking, none of that, I can just be chilling. That is my dream vacation, so
Oh,
So far, I think my favorite vacation that we have taken is realistically, it's either A, when we went to Texas to go to the Texas Motor Speedway because I got to go to Buc-ee's. It's when we go to Tennessee because my family is all in Tennessee. So when we go where my family's from, it's only like an hour and a half from Gatlinburg.
okay.
So we go over there for like a day, and that's one of my favorites.
Awesome. Awesome. How about you?
My favorite, I liked Alaska, but it's too cold for this girl. I don't do cold. and it may change, but my favorite one is we went, what was it, 2 years ago down to Broken Bow. Beautiful. I loved it down there. Now, wasn't a vacation, but I want to make it a vacation. I went on a missions trip to Dublin, Ireland, and I would love to just do a vacation at Dublin, Ireland, not a missions, not as a missions trip to where we worked camp and we only got to spend like a half a day in Dublin, which wasn't a lot because we were running back and forth to all the different places. I would just like to go for a whole week to Dublin, Ireland, and just be a tourist.
You know, I
Awesome.
have like a Broken Bow, like I've never been, but I always look at the cabins.
I'm an
Uh,
outdoorsy person, but this one right here has allergies to
my
galore.
allergies are
Because when
awful.
I went with Miss Chris down to Roaring River, they had campers that we stayed in at Roaring River, and one of them was for sale. And I'm like, babe, it's only an hour to Branson, 30 minutes to Eureka Springs. It's for sale. Let's buy this RV and just keep it here. And then in the background, I'm sitting here thinking, but then he's like, babe, what happens to me when I'm outside? And I'm like, I know, your allergies go crazy. And you start sneezing and you start coughing, and your eyes get itchy and rubbing, and I hear all about it for 2 weeks.
So question 3, this one's like a little bit pointed towards Pastor and Becca, but me and Savannah, we can answer. What's your favorite memory together?
What is our favorite memory? My favorite memory, I can't really discuss, but I mean, but
We don't talk about
we didn't talk about that.
turning red because I know what memory he's talking about.
It's the reason why we have a new bed. Anyway, we are married, and it is just fine. My favorite memory would be going to Alaska. Really, just spending that time in Alaska
Yeah,
with just me and my wife. So that was
I think that would too, because that was one time that we did a honeymoon, but it was like a quick little honeymoon to Eureka Springs. So that was like a 5-year wait cruise, big honeymoon. And that was the time that we just, was able to connect and just have fun. Didn't have phones to where people can reach us, and we were
Yep.
just out and away. That's why I'm kind of looking forward to this vacation because you can't reach me on my phone. So I'm off limits for a whole week.
God swinging back to you.
exactly.
I think oh my. So we have many, many, many memories with Lexi. Is I accidentally threw a rock and hit her in her hand.
Oh no!
Like
She broke my finger.
yeah, I felt so bad. In my defense, I was thinking of somebody else, and I let go late, and I threw it. But the crazy part is, right before I threw it, she said, "Don't hit me with
I
that."
said, please don't hit me with that rock.
And I let hit her right on their knuckles, like clink. And I was like, "What was that?" I thought it was a fish. I thought a fish like came up and splashed. And then she was like, "It's a hit your finger." I started crying. I'm sorry. Oh, she was like, "I'm telling."
I'm telling.
Child, going back to your memory is if your Papa Art wouldn't have made the comment that he did, he would have not ever had to deal with that.
I think if I had to pick, realistically, this will always be my favorite memory because it was forever my lasting impression. The first time I ever met Savannah was we were out at the lake. I did not know her from Adam. I had not met her one single time. It's just everybody came out there. We had been camping. And the only thing she said to me verbatim was, hey, your swimsuit, it's cute. If you need something, come here, baby girl. I was like,
That
I like Savannah. That will always be my favorite
I love
memory
that.
of Savannah. And that she wouldn't get in the water because she don't swim in anything she can't see.
Yeah, now I do constantly.
So Savannah broke the ice pretty quickly.
Yeah, very much so. I was very shy, and Savannah was like, "Oh,
Okay.
baby girl." I'm like, Savannah liked me. Who's next? Probably few. Really, Pastor and Becca Center. What is your funniest ministry story?
Okay, well, let's see. 20 years in ministry, I've got so many.
You have to
Um,
pick one.
I had to pick one.
One.
Okay.
Favorite, and that's the funniest.
Oh Lord, do you have one?
Brother Hicks.
Yes.
So it come to pastor's office. So when we pastored our first church in Taloga, the pastor's office, you come in through the side door. We had a side door, and there was the little desk for the secretary, and then it was the pastor's office, and then you walk through and had to step up into the sanctuary every Sunday before church would even start. Brother Hicks would come in, go to pastor's office, just, hey, how you doing, pastor? He's 80-something years old. And so it just sticks to me the most and the favorite because they kind of adopted us and took him under our wings and stuff. But one morning, pastor said, well, Brother Hicks, how you doing this morning? And he's like, Pastor, I'm doing mighty fine. And pastor's like, "Well, I'm glad you're doing mighty fine. What made you do mighty fine?" He looked at pastor with a grin. He said, "'Cause mama blessed me last night." And Josh came up to me after that, and since I was in the back getting ready for children's church and getting it ready so that I had everything set up for when we went back to children's church. And he was like blushing and stuff. And he's like, "I don't know how I'm going to get ready to preach to these people because Bud Hicks just came in here and told me that mama blessed him mighty fine. And now all I can do is when I see her sitting in front of me, I want to picture it and not be wanting to picture that in my mind of
While I'm preaching.
blessing him while I'm preaching." So I love them to death, but that is the funniest that has stuck with me, and I love them. Like I said, they were our mama and daddy. Just another that God had blessed us while we were there because we were young whenever we were pastors, and so yeah, I think you were 20,
23.
23,
Yeah.
and so
Yes.
yeah,
I wish
Oh,
it
yes.
was canceled today.
Let's go home early.
let's go home early.
Yes. Yes, that was a good one. I mean, there's been times that my wife, I be sitting on the platform and I'm just sitting there and people just singing and worshiping, and she keeps trying to get my attention and telling me to look down, look down, look down. I'm like, what? And so finally I give in and look down, and the pants that I had on that night had ripped in the crotch from top to bottom, and my underwear was just shining bright in front of the whole church.
And the whole
Eh,
church was just
And the whole church, yes, and I wondered why they're all looking at me weird, but I just had no idea, so I had to run home and change pants real quick. Oh yeah, I've got a whole list of them, whole list, but
You're like, "We're gonna take
yes,
an intermission right
we're
now.
gonna take an intermission. Exactly, right?
It's a good thing the church was just right back behind church. So
That's perfect. Next question. How did you know you were called to ministry?
I just knew. There was again, I just felt it. I felt that draw my whole life. I could always imagine myself sitting in church watching my pastor and saying, "One day I'm gonna be him. One day I'm gonna do that." And then, of course, my camp experience, youth camp experience, God literally just, confirmed that calling to me one night and was like, "I want you for ministry." And I just took that step of faith from that point on. And now, this next month will be, in July, it'll be 24 years of full-time ministry for my wife and I. So,
mine goes back. I was 19 years old. So this where we pastored at Cross Point was my home church, but back then it was called Glenwood Assembly of God. And we were at we were having a ladies fellowship, women's meeting in the fellowship hall, and we just had a move of God that day and that night. And I was just praying, and I just started bawling, and people were praying over me. And I just looked up and looked at Sister Rhonda, and I'm like, God's just called me to let me know that I'm going to be a pastor's wife. Either a pastor, I said, I don't know if it's going to be a pastor's wife or if it will be me or if it will be like a missionary or some type of wife to my husband. And that rotten that dang, and all well did I know that I would marry a pastor, but then I eventually getting ordained after that first year of being pastors down in Toloa, getting ordained myself, or through the process of getting ordained, for the simple fact that it's not just one person, it's not just his ministry. And people get that so wrong that
Yep.
it's just the pastor's ministry.
no.
The wife has to have that vision too in
Right.
order for it to be a successful ministry. But what really prompted me to get my license too is we had a guy who was in a welding a tank back to his car and got 60% of his body burned. We were already in Oklahoma City. He was life flighted 2.5 hours away from Oklahoma City. We were there first, but when his wife and 2 kids got there, pastor was the only one back there, allowed back there because he was credentialed. So he had to minister to not only the person who got burnt, but he had to minister to the wife, the 2 adult children, all on his own. And that's where I'm like, I have to get ministered because I don't ever want to be in that situation to put him back there by himself to do that all himself because he needed that team player there with him.
Right.
And so that's, God confirmed that too when he sent him to me. That's how we met we had master's commission here at our church and he came up here to start his credentialing. So God set it all in place.
Yep. God's perfect timing. So,
Always.
yep.
If you could take the church on any mission trip, don't matter place, price, anything, where would you go?
Hawaii. There are a lot of people in Hawaii that need Jesus.
Pastor.
Them fish need Jesus too. That's right. That's right.
I would pick 2. I would go back to Ireland just because it is a beautiful country, but their youth camps there to see those kids on fire whenever and how hungry they were. That I would wanna do that, but then I would want to go to Africa,
Okay.
to the villages that no one goes to and love on those people. And I met someone at Sam's the other day, and so that's where I want to do is be Africa.
That would be interesting trip. Hardest lesson ministry has taught you?
That's a good question.
Sorry,
Uh,
if you want back to that one
yeah.
question,
Yeah.
'cause I was looking this up. Even though I'm not a pastor or anything, I would like to take no church, but like our young adults and youth to this thing called Churchella. So y'all heard of Coachella, right?
Yeah.
Or it's a music festival, but they have one in the UK and it's dedicated to like praise and worship.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you sing to each other. And
Yeah.
I want to go to that so bad. It's in the UK and it's literally just like Coachella, but church.
Wow.
You bring your kids and stuff. They have so much stuff.
Aubriana
That's
would
cool.
like that 'cause she's wanting to go to the UK.
They also have something like that in maybe in Texas.
If they do find it. Because
I'll have to look. I've seen somewhere in the US that they have it too, and I can't remember where it is. It's either in Texas or it's in Kentucky. I don't remember, but I'll Google it later.
Yeah. That's a
That'd be
great
awesome.
idea. The hardest. Yeah. Let's go. Yes. The hardest thing that ministry has taught me, I'm just going to sum it up in this, is that people are people and some go to church and that it's not about me. So,
For me, I cried about everything when we first got married. I was very sensitive, very emotional. I cried at the top of the hat. You told me what I had on looked ugly, I'd cry because I'm like, hey. So definitely being a pastor's wife in ministry, I've learned you've got to have tough skin because people, like he said, people's going to be people. They don't care who you are. There's been times that I've cried and I looked at him and said, I'm done. I do not want to be a pastor's wife anymore. I'm going back home to Sepulpa. But then again, I have to stop and think, but I can't do that because I'm called.
Right.
And that's where you have to just get in your mind that people are people. Don't let them distract you of what God wants you to do because it's not about them. It's
Yeah.
about God.
right.
Amen. What keeps your faith strong?
What keeps my faith strong? Well, number one, my personal time with the Lord. Especially in ministry, you have to find time, and everybody, not just the people in ministry, but everybody have to find time just to spend time with God. You just have to find that time, and so luckily, the Lord has really blessed me um, in the last 3 years to have a job that provides outside of the church, but also that gives me the flexibility to be able to spend that time with the Lord if I want to, or if I need to daily, do what I have to do, and then also continue to be the pastor of the church and do my pastoral duties. And so time in the presence of God keeps my faith in God, keeps my faith there, but also the the blessings and the miracles of God and his protection and his and all those things, his mercy on my life and our lives. That also keeps my faith rooted.
I think it's what he said this year, time, and that's one thing that I struggle with is time because working full time and being a mama and doing all the house chores and then stuff up here that I wish I had time, and I do. You got to make time, but I'm getting better at that. And so, but not only that, but seeing what a godly husband and dad he is. And he sets that tone for our deal because I love whenever, because I talked to Sissy and I was like, I just want to, let's read together because I hate reading. That's what I'm going to tell you right now. Reading my Bible is the hardest, but I can pick it up and I've started picking up and let it read to me is how I'm getting it in now is because, and so Aubriana's, but she's like, that's what I want. She said, because dad, every time you look, dad's always got his Bible and he's always reading. And I think that that's a great testimony for our faith too, is to see the head of the house doing it and living that and being the lead example for what we should be doing every day.
As a pastor and pastor's wife, what's one thing you wish churches understood better?
Easily that we are just people. Our family is just a people. And we are human beings just like you are. And I wish that, that we have a life that people would understand that we have a life outside of the church as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That, and then that they know how do I say this? It's not always up to the pastor's wife and pastor to call on everybody when they're missing.
Right.
That is we're all the body of Christ. That's not just pastor and pastor's wife job. So when you see somebody missing, don't just say, "Oh, pastor and pastor's wife will call them." I'm sure they'll be glad to hear from us, but then they're gonna be saying, "Well, does anybody else in the church miss us?"
Right.
So I would like for them to do that, be at that, see that it's not the pastor's job. We have so much to bear to do already but that's everybody's job.
Best piece of marriage advice that you could give.
Keep God first.
Keep God first in everything, and stay connected. Honestly, stay connected. Go on dates, talk to each other every day. I even go as far as saying, stay spicy between each other. Everything is all things are permissible, right? In the confines of a marriage covenant. So, but we got to pray together. People who pray together stay together.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my advice on that.
And what's fun, you answered my question 11,
No.
which was what helps you stay connected during busy seasons.
Uh-huh. Yeah. We just stay, yeah. And what helps us?
We don't ever go to sleep at night without telling each other we love each other. Even if you're mad at each other, you still say I love you because you don't ever know or promised and the next day
Oh, and that's another thing too, is even through busy seasons, we have to learn boundaries even among people in the ministry, that these phones are not available 24 hours a day. If you will call me after 9 o'clock, you're not going to get an answer from me.
I know because Justin has tried.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh, I forgot his phone's off when he goes home. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And
Now, if you leave let's put that. If you leave a message and say, "Yeah, it's an emergency, Pastor, I need you to call me back now, life-threatening emergency," then we'll
Right.
call you back.
Right.
But we set
But
that top at
but I'm
night
not going to talk to somebody at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night and say, "Oh, Lord, Pastor, I got a hangnail. Please pray for my hangnail. It hurts so bad."
No, dude, I'll
Deal
call
with
at
it.
night at 9:30. Right now. Alright, got time.
Call 8:59.
Right. Yeah.
So there's boundaries that we have to set because that goes into our family time.
And at the end of the day, we can pastor this church, and we do, and we love doing that. But our main ministry, our ministry to one another, and our ministry to our children.
Mhm. Next question. What traditions are important to your family?
What traditions are important to our family, babe?
We have our not Easter, but our Christmas traditions,
Days.
holidays is set for us. I know that in the past, like coming up, it's hard. Like basically all holidays has been our traditions just for family. Aubriana's having a hard time right now with 4th of July because it's always just been my sister and them come over. It's just us. We're doing hot dogs. Then we come up here and watch the fireworks as a family. But last year, it wasn't just us. There's a whole bunch of parking lot people up here.
Yeah.
And then we're making this big celebration to make it as an outreach this year. And she's like, "It's just not gonna be us." And I'm like, "We can do us the morning time. And for lunch, we can do us. But then the afternoon, we're gonna make it a community thing because that's what we're here for." So I think that's the only thing, is just making sure that our holidays stay family
to us. Yep.
oriented.
Okay. What vision do you have for the church?
What vision do I have for the church? The Bible tells us that without vision, the people perish, And so my vision is to be a light to our community, to be a church that, is thriving, that we are a solid unit, a community that is reaching the lost, that is reaching maybe the undesirables. In our last episode, it was brought up a little bit that right now I'm just putting the church on alert that, right now we've had some situations with some people that have been coming to church, and, I'm fighting to try to get these individuals back, but they have decided to excuse themselves because they may not be living a lifestyle that is accepted, I guess, by the church as a whole. And some people, it got back around to them that there are some elders in the church that have voiced their opinions on that, and so they've excused themselves. And I'm like, we've got to change that. We've got to change that mentality. We got to change that culture and that atmosphere that my wife mentioned earlier in the last episode, that it's a whosoever will. I want this church to be a whosoever church, full of the power of the Holy Spirit. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to condone every sin and just be flippy floppy. No, we're still going to preach the gospel. We're going to still teach doctrine, but we're a whosoever church. I want to be a church that is accepting and loving of no matter who you are, where you come from. When you walk through the doors of this community, and we're not just a bunch of people walking to worshiping together. We are a community of believers, and so that's just kind of
We
where.
get rid of that.
Yes.
That we get rid of that stigma of judging.
Yeah.
Yep. So
What do you do when you don't have the answers to people's questions?
I don't know.
Google.
Google. Hey Siri.
Let me pray on it.
Let me pray on it. That really does give you a little bit of time.
Yes.
But really do. I will tell people, you know what? I don't have an answer for you right now, but if you will trust, I will seek counsel, or I will seek the Lord, or I will get into the Bible and we will find an answer for you. As your shepherd and your leader, I don't have all the answers, but I can find something that will point you in the right direction. Yeah.
Mine's like, let me pray about it and ask pastor.
Yeah.
But, and also, and if you ever been in that situation where pastor's like, get back, also make sure to remind him because, he's getting
Yes.
old and he forgets sometimes. If he
Very
doesn't
forget.
write it down, he may
Yep.
forget. But he's really good. But that's, he's really, I will say that's one thing that we're both like, let us pray, but also ask counsel to let me get into the word and find that answer for you.
And we had to find that, we had to figure that out, that it is okay to say, I don't know at this moment.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'll find out.
Find out. Is that
What has God taught you through serving at Cross Pointe?
What has God taught me through serving at Cross Pointe? Again, that everybody is at a different pace in this race. It's not even a race, it's a marathon, I guess. And that as a leader, I have to serve everybody where they're at. And I have to be gentle enough to lead somebody from where they're at to the next stage in their life. And again, that service is not about me, it's about the kingdom.
right? I think one thing too is that we've got to learn too that we've learned for me, not so much him, because a lot of our church that we have now were in the church when I was a teenager. So a lot of me wants to catch myself trying to please all of them because I love them so much and I've looked up to them as the elderly in the church. As a teenager, they're still get myself in trouble. Never mind. They're still elder than me, but pleasing them to make it them happy, to satisfy them, even when there's times that I should have stood up for something and said, no,
Right.
this isn't going to happen that way.
Right.
Because sometimes I still have that thing as I'm still the teenager. They're still the one above me.
Right.
To where I have to stop and think, wait, no, you're a grown woman now who is the pastor's wife, first lady, and I have authority over what happens, what doesn't happen. But I'm too scared to offend or hurt their feelings. So that's one thing I've had to learn to change.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We are down to the last 5 questions.
Right. That's it.
What advice would you give someone who feels called into ministry?
That's a good question. I love that. What advice would I give someone who feels called to the ministry? Stay true to that calling. Stay true to that and be open to doors of opportunity. Because what you feel that may be your calling you may not end up in that lane, And so just be open to the Lord, be humble before God, and don't rush anything.
Right.
God will open the doors at the perfect time.
Right.
And so I could stay.
There's a lot of stuff I could say too.
Yes.
That and yeah, like he said, it may not be what you're going because when we first got engaged, he was not what he was doing. He was thinking about being an evangelist.
Right.
So I'm sort of thinking we keep our jobs and I'm doing good and I stay with my mom and dad's just here. And then a month, we got married in July and it was Father's Day.
Well, yeah, yes.
Yeah, it was May.
Father's Day.
May, but we went back in Father's Day because we filled in May because we had to give up our Lion King tickets.
Yes.
Just to filled in.
Project Day.
I know.
20 years and I'm still paying for that one.
It was Broadway.
Even though Even though we have been multiple times since then, I still
Was
The first time.
it was the first time ever.
Yes,
I'd
yes,
never
yes.
been to one, and you hyped me all up to go, and I bought it for you for your birthday.
Right,
It
right.
was a birthday present for you. But
And we gave
anyway,
those tickets away.
and we gave those tickets away.
Born then.
Old enough then. So, but we was thinking that, and then within a month before we got married, we were voted in as pastors before we were even married.
Yeah, yes, and again,
And
that's when we went to Tologa.
yeah,
And, again, that's what I'm saying is keep yourself
so
humble and
humble.
stay open to the possibilities of doors that will open.
And don't and I wanted to say this too, because so many times I run into this, and we felt like with praise and worship and stuff like that. Keep that open if that's where you're wanting to go. Don't always go looking, am I going to get paid
Right,
to do this?
right.
I'll tell you right now, the last two pastorates that we're at, we're not paid full time.
Mhm, mhm.
We're, not paid enough to do. That's why we both have to work full time. So be willing to use the gift that God's gave you.
Yes.
And it's not all about money, because I don't know how many
Come on, sister.
times that we have asked people to come be praise and worship leaders for us at our last church. And the first thing that came out of their mouth is, well, how much are you going to pay me?
Mhm.
And it's
And
like,
I say, brother, I'm not even getting paid as a pastor. So what makes you think that you're gonna get paid if I'm not getting paid?
because it shouldn't be about the money. It should be about what the calling is on our life.
Tell you
God's
what, that
calling.
makes sassy pastor come out.
You know what's crazy though? I didn't know that people got paid to be like
The media.
leaders and
Yeah.
media, and I was like, "You're telling me that people do this to get paid?"
Right.
I was like, "Wow, that's new."
And then I told Lexi that don't even get any ideas of going to be in a media place somewhere else because we don't pay you.
Okay, fine, I'll stay, I guess.
I'll pay you $5 a week if I have to.
No, it's fine. As long as you feed me every once in a while, I'll stay, I guess. Okay, next question. What has been the most unexpected part of being a pastor and a pastor's wife?
What been the most unexpected part?
Yeah,
How you live in a house of glass.
Yeah, I guess that's good.
I could see that.
Yeah, a glass
Especially
house.
for our kids. It wasn't so hard when it was just us, but now for my kids, because I'm sitting here going, and my son's not perfect. And we
Who
talked
is,
about who is.
Yeah.
And he's at that age, he's rebelling, he's rebelling. We've taken him to church ever since we've, got him. And I have to wake up and I'm hearing him walk in my door saying, what's coming out of that mouth of yours? I did not raise you to talk that way.
Mhm.
And but for church, again, those people living on that glass house, they have to, we're expected to make them, okay, we got to be God perfect. We got to be this because we're the pastor's family, to where it shouldn't be that way, because we're like we said the last episode, we're human just like everybody else. Our teenagers go through the exact same stages that your teenagers going through right now.
And that we went through when
And
we
we
were
went through
teenagers.
when we were teenagers. And so I think for me, it was having to where your whole life is a glass house.
Yep, 24/7, 365.
Because even in Tologa, the first time we got there, we got a brand new not bathing suit, bedroom suit. Sorry, I'm thinking about this cruise bathing suit, bedroom suit, because we needed a new bed and frame and everything. So,
Why, Sister Becca?
okay, so I think they already got that why.
You listened to earlier.
If you listened to earlier, Papa Art told him to call him the first time that our bed broke after we got married. So that is why. And so a precious saint in the town who lived 3 blocks down, 2 blocks over, called and said, what are you getting from Merriman's Furniture today?
Uh-huh.
That's weird.
And I'm like, none of your business, because this is
Yeah.
my house. That's what I bought from Merriman's Furniture today. So that's why I say a glass house, because in that small community, which that community is a lot smaller here than it was here. We had Tologa, you had the whole town is 350 people. And so everybody's close knit. They walk in, they're gonna know your business.
Yeah.
So if you want to be a pastor and you want to pastor a small church, just know that too. You move to a small town like that, everybody gonna know what's going up at the pastor's house.
Yep.
Because we got the call. What did you buy from Merriman's Furniture
Mhm.
today?
That's crazy.
Mhm.
Can I throw in a question?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Y'all see how she treat me? It's kind of a tough one. Do you think people use your kids to get to know the dirt on you?
Yes.
Yeah, very much so.
Very much so.
100%. 100%.
I can see that.
Yeah.
A lot.
And do you feel like you have to coach your kids on being like, hey,
Hmm.
this is our house. This is what we do here.
What's
You don't
in our
need to
house.
tell.
What goes on in our house.
Right.
Not only is that not only for church people, but even for family.
Mhm.
I'm like, "This is our family, it's us 4. Yes, we have extended family, but what goes on in our house is not their business." Because even not just as pastors, but just even for you guys or anybody else who gets married, your family tries to tell you how to do like, especially with kids, they try to tell you how to raise your kids, how to do this or how to do this, how to be the perfect wife or how to be the perfect husband. Everybody has their tidbit to say and tell you, but
Mhm.
what comes in happens in our house. It's just between us. No one has to know what goes on.
Still working on that husband part if you're listening.
Yes,
He's out there. He's out there
he's
somewhere.
out there. Abraham is out there somewhere.
Amen. Amen.
Next question. What is one thing you hope every member understands about the mission of our church?
I will hope that everybody will understand the mission of our church is, first of all, Christ is exalted
Mhm.
in everything that we do,
Yes,
and people are loved
yes.
no matter where they come from. That is the core mission of our church, that Christ is exalted and people are loved. So,
All I can remember is the acronym.
What has been one of the greatest joys of being at Cross Point so far?
one of the greatest joys of being at Cross Point, honestly, the love of the people. We come into Cross Point, and of course, like Sister Rebecca had said, that she grew up in this church, and so there's a lot of history in this church anyway. And so just, I mean, we didn't really have to get to know, we had to become reacquainted with a lot of people, but we knew every face. We knew, and so, so the love of the people, the acceptance of our family, that is a great joy. And also leading this amazing church and leading us into the future and to see what God has in store for us in the future. We have come so far, just to see. And it's humbling to me as a pastor, when we first stepped in our first day, 2019, December, that we had 10, 10 or 15 maybe tops. And now we're running, 40, on a good day, 50, and some days it's 60, or more. And and so that does my heart good, but it also humbles me. And I'm like, there's a good future for this community. Yeah. So
And then, very last question. If every member of Cross Point listened to this episode, what is one thing you'd want them to remember?
that me as a pastor and my wife and my family, we are so honored to serve you, that we love you. We love this community so very much, and we don't see ourselves going anywhere else. I even told somebody yesterday, like, as far as I'm concerned, I'm retiring or dying here. This is home to me, and they have made it home. And, again, Christ exalted, people loved.
And that's all my questions.
All right. Well, we hope that you enjoyed it. And we love you guys. Praying for you. If you need prayer or want to reach out to us, remember, just reach out social media, Facebook, Cross Point Church of Hulpa. Reach out on Facebook. We've got YouTube, and what else?
We have Instagram.
And Instagram. And so just reach out to us and let us know that you're listening. If you need prayer, reach out to us, and we'd love to connect with you, um, and let you know we're here for you. Anything else before we leave?
Mm-mm.
Nope.
All right.
Church services on Sunday mornings at 10:30.
Yep. Wednesdays at 7.
7.
So, but all right. Well, we love y'all. Be safe out there, and see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.